All right, and we are back with Rivals of Aether's July Major Top 8.
Man, if loser side is going to be anything like winner side Akashi, we are in for a show. You see it here in front of you guys. Tapscott Codek, Hockey's Cheesy Potato, for the right, nay, the privilege to take on Soul Rifle or Cake Assault, respectively.
That's going to be an insane run for either of these players. But right now, we've got Tapscott and Codek geared up and ready to duke it out. Game 1 going to be starting us off on the Swampy Estuary. Raster Rada. Oh boy, the character with all the ground speed and airspeed in the world versus the character with the really fast, really good buttons that can just kind of mess you up.
Yeah, right. And this is a matchup that I'm excited for Codek specifically, because we saw how some of the changes in the recent patch affected their match against the Shovel Knight that they were playing previously.
Yeah,
I'm blanking. I apologize.
No, it's okay. Omar,
thank you. And so this is a much lighter character, not going to have some of the same struggles we saw on that set, but you are going to struggle a little bit if you're getting Tapscott taking you out that quickly.
It's so true. And one of the big things right now that Codek has going for him is the fact that he's got really fast buttons to push him at a disadvantage and just a little more disjoint than Raster does. So a lot of these trades will definitely wind up favoring him, especially when you're off stage and you're forced into these spots like this. Runs the air dodge, manages to get back though.
Yeah, it's all about finding this stock, and that really is kind of Raster in a nutshell sometimes, right? Like, for a character that's so light, they can be so elusive and honestly a pain in the ass to kill, but that back air will do it.
Yeah, if you DI off on the sideline, if you DI off like that, it is Dunskies. You are flying straight to your next stock. But right now we're seeing.
I'm curious about that up B, but it worked.
It was a bold option. I mean, it kind of acts like a little bit of a dragon punch. So you just get like a little burst, a little push upwards. You get a needle stack too, which is always it's always nice. It's always appreciated.
Listen, man, just like that, that is not quite a stock. But Codek feeling pretty good about their chances as they get the downer spike.
Yeah, Raster likes to give you the illusion that like you are going to escape the combo, and
the illusion of hope.
Yeah, the illusion of choice. It is sometimes just getting up aired 4 times in a row, and sometimes it's about getting your air dodge read, and then there's not a whole lot you can really do. You just kind of have to hope that your DI is good enough that you get off this wild ride.
Which is funny because it's normally Mr. Toad's wild ride, but instead this time it's Raster's.
Right? Alright, gets the stock with the forward air. 108% though is a very scary amount to be at. Yep, there it is. The up B sweet spot gonna seal out game number 1 for Tapscott. Honestly, looking really powerful in that game. Controlled Codek had his moments where he was able to kind of counter, but Tapscott was the one controlling the pace for basically the whole round.
Well, and it comes down to the archetype, right? I mean, Raster being that classic glass cannon can dish out tons of damage, take stocks super early, but when they get hit, they get blown up. But the thing is, if you don't get hit, you don't get blown up, and that's what we saw.
A lot of dodging,
though. This, to give you guys a little bit of a hint, looks like a bit of a blow-up, so I'm interested to see how this goes. And our first time seeing Forest Floor this tournament, I think. Or this top 8 at the very least.
The double platform layout, similar to PS2. A lot of players do like it because it's kind of a smaller stage, got this somewhat smaller blast zones. Notably, like the spike, the bottom blast zones are also pretty small too, so spikes become a lot more lethal on a stage like this, on top of the ceiling. Also,
who's going to take advantage of it? I love the needle carry to have the turnaround for the back air, but now we're going to see Tapscott with the advantage state.
Pushing in carefully, making sure to take full advantage of the... tried to go for the fair spike upstrong that we've seen before, but no, just kind of gets clapped. In a literal sense, just gets thrown off the side into the next stock.
And what's crazy is that was mid-stage, too. I mean, that was not a carry combo off into the corner. That was just like, hey, I'm going to hit this forward strong. What's good?
Yeah, and Codek was just not ready for it at all. But, Tapscott was not ready for that down tilt to connect into the upstrong either. 2 stocks apiece, but he's firing back on all cylinders.
Big trade here. Yeah, Tapscott's staying below right now. That's the big thing.
We're seeing a lot of good platform movement coming out from Codek as well. A lot of great use of the limited platform that we have here to push the advantage. Oh, great nair just to keep Tapscott off stage, but he makes it back.
Man, there's been so many moments between both of these players where it's just hit, and you're like, all right, this is going to be it. But that one was for sure.
Calls out the jump right there and seals out the stock. Codek taking the lead right now and gets a quick 40 combo. And it's still going! He hit him for it!
That's what I was talking about. I had my own timer in my head going, all right, something is about to happen. Something wicked this way comes, and there it is. Fair, needle fair. And
jab,
even game,
jab.
even set.
Yeah, jab, down tilt, jab, pushing him off stage slowly, and then calling out the option and just going deep for those edge guards.
It's what we didn't see game 1. We did see it game 2. Let's see what we see in game 3, this time going to Julesville.
Oh, with a platform like this, we're definitely going to see a lot more edge guard extensions if the stars align. And for a character like Rano, yeah, you're going to want to make full use of that against a character like Raster.
Tapscott waited him for him to blink there. Didn't get too much off of that, though.
Staring each other down, knowing that like both of their characters had the ability to just kind of blow each other up, deal a lot of damage, really good combo-heavy tools, and rough DI mix-ups. But Tapscott getting out of the corner. Woo! And
that's the big thing, right? These 2 for 2. But both of these characters can kind of just do all this damage at this low percent. It's all about knowing when and how you can get out of these situations, and then not getting stuck in that again. Because it's those 2-3 interactions in a matchup like that leads to a stock.
Speaking of leading to a stock, he called out the jump with the up strong, called out the flinch on the needles with the tongue. 60 off the side!
Man.
People be saying Raster's...
What do you do?
People just say Raster's light, and that is like just the peak example of one thing went wrong for a lightweight, and Rano took the entire stock for it. It took 3 needles, 1 parry flinch, and you're gone. That's it, next stock. And right now, Tapscott's on the back foot in a big way. Gotta push himself back in here. Oh, gets it with the down strong.
Call out, Akashi.
2 for 2 on those. Called it out earlier with a forward strong.
Here we go again.
Oh, yeah, we both thought it was gonna happen again.
You think about that, right? Maybe a couple more percent on that, and that could have been it. But only, I think that was a down air at 0, or down strong at 0.
Ooh, yeah, and we saw that down tilt didn't. We saw that, I think it was up tilt. Didn't DI either way. That back air was perfectly aligned, and now Codek takes the next game.
What nerfs, Akashi? What nerfs?
I don't know.
Man, speaking of the former love we talked about in the previous set, here comes the Orcane for game 4.
Oh boy. Have not seen Orcane in a minute. Maybe that was maybe it was just waiting in the back pocket. Maybe Bucket just took Orcane from him and, didn't realize. After the set, they was like, oh, my apologies, sir. I didn't realize you still played Orcane. Here, let me give you your character back.
You unlocked him on the CSS screen by a beating Bucket.
Alright? It was locked away until he got into top 8. And I mean, like, right there, perfect example. Like, still so nice with it.
But the reversal, Akashi, that's what they needed in that situation. Codek now pushes his way back on, but another back air? Nope, just down tilt up air. What else do you need?
Sometimes you just want a character that has some strong moves that can take the stock, Raster is fantastic. Great character, arguably one of the best in the game. But sometimes you just want a dude with a strong hitting move like that, up or off the top, gonna make it 2 stocks apiece.
And importantly, no damage taken either. And now with the parry into the bubble, a big lead-ish right now for Codek, but feeling real comfortable in this top 8.
That was a very scary spot, but an unfortunate misspacing does lead to Tapscott being able to get back, but that almost killed at 80-something off the bottom. Ay, caramba.
somehow gets below him there and just kind of continues this setup, right? We saw this at the beginning of the game. Codek kind of forced their way back, but Tapscott more than happy to play the patient game.
Yeah, and we're seeing such great platform movement coming out from Codek too. On top of that, a lot of shimming around Tapscott just to kind of force these little like, what are you gonna do? You know, like we saw. Oh, speaking of what are you gonna do? Droplet into the up strong.
Yeah, I was just starting to think about the percents. I was like, man, this is even at 150. And sure enough, powered up strong. There you go.
One of the strongest smash attacks in the game, if not the strongest. Able to clean up stocks as early as 70, especially on a character as light as Rano.
There it is. I literally was just looking at it. I know Codek was too. I was like, that's a full stack. He's gonna be going for this tongue soon.
He's still alive. Going aggressive return to stage. Great tech coming out there.
Man,
2 rolls that
Tapscott finds this game is going to be kicking himself. And there it is. Literally walked past death twice and said, I'll see you later. I have to go to game 5.
Oh my, 2 rolls. 2 times Codek had it in his hand. And then Tapscott just looked at him like, nuh-uh. And goes like,
hold the
what do
Uno
you mean,
reverse
nuh-uh?
card.
Yeah, he's like, dude, what do you mean, nuh-uh? And he's like,
I mean, nuh-uh.
Yeah, the Orcane came in a big way. It's here. Game 5, we're going back to Swampy Estuary, too.
Get a little bit of the home field advantage for Rano here, but, man, no rust on this Orcane at all.
No. This Orcane is ready. This Orcane is here to play, but, I mean, Codek, we can't count him out either. He's already racked on 70%, but he's also just got the punish game on lock. Oh my! I think that might have been an up strong that just misinputted, but still doesn't get too big of a punish. Doesn't get punished too hard for it.
Imagine if Rano up B was actually a Dragon Punch though. Like that was just a finisher.
Oh, if that was a finisher, that would be insane. I'd cry too because it's so fast. But
call out.
It would be so good. Oh, waited for the flinch. The bubble butt.
Oh my god. The toes. Rana out here licking toes, Akashi.
Ah, man.
And now the weight of his own, but the bubble!
The bubble again! This bubble's positioned in such an awkward spot, Tapscott's not able to deal with it.
This is literally the equivalent of Krag's pillar, right? Like, just in the right spot at the right time over and over and over again. And even that would have been, if that up air had hit that bubble again in the right spot.
Yeah, Tapscott needs to somehow find a way to get Codek away from the bubble. There it is right there, but Codek just pulls it closer.
There, okay.
Finally.
Man, even over there on the left, I mean, Tapscott, the master of the roll right now, just kind of getting himself out of dodge.
Able to escape narrowly and starting his own combo, but unfortunately, Codek just says, nah, I'm leaving. I got Nair, I got backer. I got great tools to get me out of these combos.
Spaces around the bubble butt with the down tilt, and that's going to be a quick stock.
Speaking of down tilt, people, we cannot forget that down tilt up strong is still a thing. We cannot forget.
We must not let the Rano propaganda go unanswered.
We can't let the Orcane propaganda go unanswered either. That killed at 80 after the hit off the top.
What do you do? What do you do? No, okay, slips past there.
Well, sorry, DI a little bit more, but also
right.
like
okay. You're right.
But also, that move is a little criminal, just a little bit, just a hair. You know, we're allowed to call a move what it is sometimes. You know, sometimes a spade's a spade.
We watched Grand Theft Larceny happen there.
We did, and we might see it happen again here. Codek is one down tilt up strong away from clearing out this tournament and making a spot in losers' quarters, but not if Tapscott has anything to say about it. This edge guard hasn't stopped yet.
And it's got the lead back too. It's so big.
You see Codek looking for that
aggressive return.
Yeah, and you see Codek starting to play a little more aggressive. Oh, but he gets with the down tilt up strong. Tapscott.
Hey man, you don't play the character for a little bit in bracket. You still got those. You still got.